I will be giving you 5 business ideas for feminine women. Make sure that you stay to the end of this video because when it comes to the categories for these businesses, it definitely does range. Not every business is going to be in the same category, so if you may not like one too much, you will definitely find one that you like. And this is not just going to be a 1-part video. There will be a part 2 and possibly a part 3. We'll see how far it goes. But I want to make sure that you can find the business that really resonates with you and that you will really enjoy. And before we get started, I will say some of these businesses you have heard before and then some of them you haven't. So it's going to range with the specificity, there's a word, specification of these businesses, as well with the generalization of the businesses as well. So without any further introduction, let's begin. The first business is to become a lash tech. Specifically owning your own business. Now you can be a lash tech and work for somebody else's business, but this is under the category of starting your own. When it comes to becoming a lash tech, there are a lot of benefits and there are a lot of cons. Some of the benefits do include the fact that when it comes to getting practice with your craft, it is pretty easy. There are so many fake doll heads that have the lashes on them that you can practice with on Amazon, on eBay, on Wish, on so many different platforms. They're pretty much everywhere. So getting your materials, sourcing your materials, having practice, it is pretty easy to find. And on top of that, when it comes to having real life people, there are a lot of women that would be more than happy to have you practice on them. So it's not hard to try to convince or get somebody to practice on. Now, I will say it is important to get a lash tech license. I am not 100% sure how all that works because I know that it can change from state to state. Some people, I heard, if they're nurses, registered nurses, they can perform without having to get any type of certification or licensing. But for you, I would say to definitely look at your state because it could range. Getting your certificate and getting that official practice, though, doesn't usually take too long. It's not like it's a 6-month or year-long process. You can get knocked out the way though, which is a very great benefit. Business number 2. This one is for the girlies that like to be a little creative but don't like to get messy, and that is becoming a jewelry business, making a jewelry business. I will say, though you don't need any licensing, though you don't need any certification, and you can pretty much get started right away, there is a huge startup cost difference, okay? It is hard to pinpoint when it comes to this business in particular, because if you are starting with something like beads, that is going to range heavily when it comes to the startup cost for your jewelry business than if you are starting with metals and crystals. The type of audience that you are trying to reach, the type of style that you are going for, the type of aesthetic that you are going for, heavily changes your startup costs, even when it comes to the quality of your items that you are going for. Of course, you know, the more high quality, the more expensive, especially if you are sourcing certain things out. A good example of this is if you are making clay beads, but you're wanting it to be high quality clay bead necklaces and bracelets. If you are somebody who can craft yourself, you can make high quality beads, clay beads by hand, then it's going to be reasonable when it comes to how much it's going to cost in the long run, especially if you already have the items, versus if you're having to go and you're having to find somebody to make the clay beads, glaze the clay beads, fire them, and then send them all to you. There's a huge difference in cost, especially when it comes to what materials you may already have versus the materials that you do not already have. So keep that in mind when it comes to when you are designing your brand, when you're branding your business, to know, okay, how much is this going to affect the startup cost of this jewelry business? Because it can make the biggest difference. I will say though, a really great pro for a business like this is that you can definitely do it from home without having to necessarily worry about safety. I know that with the lash tech business, having people come over to your home, you could do that, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the safest thing ever. So you can definitely do this from your home. If you're someone who does not like having human interaction or a ton of people around you, this as well helps with that, as you just don't have to deal with that many people. It also has a range of places that you can sell it. again, going back to the lash tech example, that is a service that you are providing. But when it comes to the jewelry, you can sell it online directly, and you can also go into things like craft fairs and sell it there. So there are plenty of opportunities to be able to get your work out there. I will say though that it's important that you do have really great branding with this business, because you do not want your stuff to just look like everybody else's. You want to definitely stand out. So be good and be on point with your branding. Now on to business number 3, and that is starting a body scrub business. This business is also for women who love to work with their hands and are okay with getting a little bit more messy than the past women, because yes, you will be working with a lot of products. Yes, you will be sourcing a lot of products, and you may have to work with different recipes. So if that is something that you enjoy, then this will be right up your alley. The amazing thing with doing a body scrub is that you can directly promote it to people who are actually in need of this item. For example, you can use it and brand yourself and make items specifically addressing the needs of people with certain skin conditions. So if you have someone who has sensitive skin, you can have your brand literally just be body scrubs for women with sensitive skin, or body scrubs for people with sensitive skin. Or you can have it where you are specifically targeting eczema. Now, when you are branding, I'm just going to give this PSA. Don't say this is going to help with because that can get you in legal trouble. But just say that it has helped you with it, or that is what you believe could possibly happen. That is registered benefits, but don't guarantee it, because again, legal trouble. You can also do this in other ways when it comes to your branding. For example, pinpointing the fact that it is made with all natural ingredients and showing exactly how it is sourced, showing exactly how it is made. Or you can even give them a very unique and special look, or a very specific scent profile. There are so many ways that you can spice up just a simple body scrub to make it something that is a luxurious item, that makes it something that is a healthful item, a medicinal item. So make sure that you are aware of how you want to brand your body scrubs, how you want to make it so it appeals to a very specific group, because that will really help when it comes to getting great sales for your business. Number 4, a lip gloss business. I personally used to have a little lip gloss business. It was pretty fun. I kind of got a little bored, but you can definitely spice this up. I use lip gloss all the time. If you cannot tell, I got lip gloss on in every single video. Lip gloss, I will say this. There are definitely a lot of pros and cons with the lip gloss business in particular. There are a lot of people in it, but that does not mean that you cannot make it happen. You definitely can. Again, a big part of this lip gloss business is branding. You want to be on top of it with your branding. You want to make sure that it stands out. You don't want to just have a plain lip gloss that is a clear tube with clear lip gloss in it and be like, ooh, go and sell this. Girl, you have to give yourself a theme, okay? Make a Bratz theme lip gloss line, and girl, you got it. Boom, there. Your idea, already got it planned out. You do want to make sure that you are being very sterile, though. So I will say this: if you are not somebody who stresses being clean, do not start this business, okay? If you are someone who struggles with making sure that your area is cleaned up and smells good, do not start this business, because this is something that is going on people's lips, and so there has to be some integrity there. So make sure that you are somebody who you can keep your space clean. Keep it clean, keep it nice, keep it smelling good, because somebody does not need to find a hair or an eyelash or a speck of dirt in their lip gloss. Okay, that's just gonna ruin the whole thing. I will also say, when it comes to cleaning up lip gloss from experience, it's very, very sticky. So make sure that when you are starting this business, you keep that in mind too. You will need possibly a lot of extra gear for cleaning out all of your tubes, all of your bottles, all of your containers, so that you can ensure that you are not spreading bacteria. And again, this is a product that's harder to clean out. So it is going to take more time when it comes to not just making the product, not just designing the product, but also the preparation of keeping things clean beforehand and cleaning stuff out after. So if that is something that you do not have interest in when it comes to having to do a lot of the prep work and the cleanup work, then it may not be the best business for you. But if you are okay with that, then I think that you can definitely thrive in this business. And number 5, I am passionate about this, okay? If you are a girl with a green thumb, you are in the right place, because this business is selling household plants. So this is the idea here, okay? This is what's going on. You can take okay, wait, let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself right now. There are a lot of places that sell household plants. I mean, it's everywhere. You can go to many grocery stores and find it. So how are you going to make your business different? This is how. You're going to find plants that are unique to the area, okay? Because there can be some plants that are very common in one part of the state and not very common in a different state. So unique to your area, unique in general, or rare plants. And you're going to take those plants and you want to specifically get ones that you can propagate. If you don't know what propagate is, I'm just going to put the definition on screen. But you want to get the ones, actually, let me just look it up. If you don't know what propagate means, it means breed specimens of a plant by natural processes from the parent stock. If you are not a person who's very deep into plants, then you gonna have some learning to do. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but get yourself some, what is it called? It's like this powder that causes the plant to shoot out roots. I don't even know what it's called, honestly. I just know that it exists. Get you some of that, get you one of those plants, find a few of them. And yes, I will say this, there is an investment, because when it comes to getting rare plants, they can be very expensive up front. But when you propagate them, you're able to take one very expensive plant and turn it into dozens of plants. You want to make sure that you're sterile as well, not as sterile as like the lip gloss thing, but you do not want there to be mold that could kill off your specimens that you are now creating. You do not want to kill off any of your plants, because again, there can be a very expensive upfront cost, and you do want to make your money back as soon as possible. So take your plants, propagate your plants, and once they have grown to a good size, you can create your business and you can sell those plants. You can even start promoting them before they're ready and showing just a little bit of the behind the scenes, so that people can be ready to go ahead and buy them, and you already have promotional work out there, so that when your plants are ready, you can go ahead and sell them. With this one, do make sure that you do some good research on your plants. Make sure that you know what plants are going to be hot at that moment, what plants people are going to want to purchase. You can get variegated plants. You can just get straight up, again, rare plants, unique plants, plants that are less common to America if you're in America. And rare plants don't necessarily mean that it's a plant that cannot be gotten anywhere but on a remote island. If it's just not very common where you are at and you do a little bit of research, then you can see if this is going to be the best plant for you to start your business with. That concludes the 5 business ideas for feminine women. I really do hope that you enjoyed, and I hope you found one that really stuck with you. If you didn't, it is okay. I'm coming out with another video very soon, a part 2 to this video about more business ideas that you can explore. Thank you for watching this far in my video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Please make sure you take care of yourself, Miss Businesswoman. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, financially, and spiritually. Take care of yourself so that you can have a peaceful, healthy, amazing life. Please make sure you take care of yourself. It is so important. You got this. I will see you in the next one. Bye.